Hey, good morning. This is Mr. Duncan at the Bonham Public Library, and I have something to try. If you're stuck at home and you want to make something, have a little fun, I was thinking, I've done these before for homeschool, but I'm just going to play around. Okay, this is called a straw rocket. And basically, it's a rocket that is launched with a straw. For any of you who have gotten in trouble for launching the paper off your straw in the restaurant, you know what I'm talking about. Even as a grown-up, I occasionally do this, and my wife frowns at me. But this is a lot of fun, and this lends itself to a bit of experimenting, and we'll get to that in a minute. But let's get to it. Put that right there for a moment. So what are you going to need? Well, you're going to need some kind of paper. Scrap paper will do. A ruler's handy, a pencil, something to mark lines with. You're also going to need some scissors, and you're going to need some tape. Okay, if you take a look at the straw here and the rocket, you can see I'm using a piece of paper that's, it's about 7 inches long. So what I'm going to do is just take a piece of paper like this. I think I'll just fold it for the moment. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. What you want to do is get a piece of paper that's about 7 inches long and about 1 inch wide. So what I'm going to do is just take my sheet of paper, cut it off at about the 7-inch mark, like this. And if you're looking for instructions on this one today, I don't have any. I just made this up as I went. I tried this one out first thing this morning and just went with it. There's no wrong way to do this. There's better ways and there's worse ways. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, the ruler is about 1 inch wide. I'll do it this way. One of the things you can experiment with is the length of the rocket. Does the length of the rocket body matter? What do you think? You can play around with that as you're making it. What you're going to do is use the pencil as a template. And I've got a whole bunch of different straws here. I've got some really long, fancy ones. I've got this clear one. I've got a bendy straw. They're all different diameters. You want to make sure that the rocket fits onto your straw. Another question is, does the width of the straw matter? Does the width of the body matter? Some things to play around with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pencil to roll this first. Get this into a tube shape like this. And here's the tricky bit, is trying to get this laid out flat. I was having a little trouble this morning. Of course, my hands don't work as well as they used to. It goes with the territory. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this piece around the edges like this. So you're going to get this to roll around the pencil. And then I'm going to take some tape and start closing it up. Like this. I want to get this as even as possible around the edges. This is the part that took the longest for me, was just holding it there and doing this. If you've got small hands, you need help. This is where a grown-up can help you hold it. And maybe they can help you tape it. But I encourage you to keep at it and be persistent, even if it's not that easy. Again, don't worry about doing it pretty. Of course, I've got color markers here too. You could color it before you start. Of course, you could color it afterwards too. I'm just going to go with the basic idea. I'm going to wrap this around the pencil, get it fairly smooth. Another question, does smooth matter with this? What do you think? Something to experiment with. Okay. Now I'm going to get it to lay down a little better, so I'm going to take a little more tape and make sure that these pieces are now They're fairly smooth. I've got a piece that's bumping up right there. Go take that down. Okay, there's her body. You notice I did not tape it to the pencil. Very important. Don't tape it to the pencil. It won't work that way. Now I'm going to make some fins. And if you look, you can see I got these square fins. Does the shape of the fins matter? Does the size of the fins matter? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Now, I have the same piece of paper right here, and I'm just going to use the ruler as a template again. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to use the ruler and hold it like this. I'm left-handed, so this is kind of difficult, but it makes it easier to see. Okay. I'm going to use the ruler again as a template. I just realized I want to do that. So I'm going to use that to make the square parts here. Just line them up like this. I'll make 3 fins. There we go. There's my 3 fins. And I'll put something on them. Decoration. Cut them out. There we go. Okay, so I've got my fins. 1, 2, 3. I've got my body tube. I'm still leaving it on the pencil because it makes it easier to handle. Now I have to get these fins on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape back. This is the side. Take a piece of tape. And I'm just going to line them up with a pencil. So, well, here's another experiment to do. Does the number of fins matter? So I've taped it on one side. Just to hold it nice and stiff, I'm going to tape it on the other. There's one fin. Does the placement of your fins matter? As you see, I'm going to try and get them so they're fairly evenly spread apart. Experiment with how it flies. Now, one of the things I want you to think about is safety as we're doing this. And that means you don't shoot this at other people. You don't shoot it at your pets or your parents. I don't care how much someone is annoying you. This is something you can do inside if you're careful. But again, be mindful about where you're shooting it. You might even want to make yourself a target. What would be even more fun is if you use these like a golf course. Set up a course of targets around the house or outside where you can shoot and score it. Do target practice with a container. Okay, one thing's missing. If I were to put this on right now and blow on it, it's not going anywhere. You have to close up the end, so you need to make a nose cone. The simplest thing you can do is just to take a piece of tape and pinch it closed. I'm going to try and pinch it so it's more like a nose cone. My first one, I actually made a nose cone out of another piece of paper. That's something to think about. Please, please, please do not be tempted to put something really sharp and pointy on here. That's not a good idea. Okay. So I'm going to push that in here. Use the pencil to do this. I'm going to push the pencil back in here, smooth it out a bit. And ta-da! There is our rocket. I'm going to put on this straw here. And I'm going to try and do this without making too much noise. I'm going to turn it. And if you look, here is my rocket. And I'm I'm going to put it in my mouth and go. I think the first one flew better. What do you think? Pretty straightforward. Try it yourself and see how it happens. You have a good day and have fun.